Hey, it's Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews. Welcome back to NEBR, New England Beer Reviews. Drinking another one from the Harpoon Brewery of Boston, Massachusetts and Windsor, Vermont. And this is another one from their Leviathan series. This is the Harpoon Imperial IPA. The Harpoon Imperial IPA comes in with an ABV of 10.0% ABV. So, I've not had this one before. I've had a few of the Leviathans, but I've not had this one. So I'm anxious to get right into it. It's 10% Imperial IPA. I have a bit of a punch to it. I believe this is from the, I don't see a date on here anywhere, at least right away. I believe this comes from the most recent batch, whether that's 2012 or... Oh, there is a date. I see a date. Okay, enjoy by 10/15/2013. So still a little ahead of that by a few months. So let's see how this goes then. Even at 10%, IPAs can sometimes, you know, I kind of like IPAs when they're fresher. Even the Imperial ones, I believe. So let's give it a pour into the glass here. Got a lot of noise going on. Got a neighbor who's doing some work on his yard. It just happened to start up about the time I decided to do my review, but that's, you know, that's the way it goes when you like to do these outside reviews, enjoying this fine, well, this is summer, but it feels like fall today mainly. A lot of a breeze, no humidity, and temperatures really didn't get much above 70 today, and could be falling into the 40s tonight. And that's the news. Anyway, let's give it a pour and see what I have. First of all, there it is. You can see a nice, handsome looking sort of a golden color, golden amber color with a ton of carbonation. You can see all kinds of bubbles going up that glass. At least I can see them. Not sure how well they show up on the camera, but they're really bubbling away here. Very active carbonation going up to this white, foamy head. Let's check out the aroma. Floral. I'm getting a touch of the caramel malts up front, but I'm getting a nice floral aroma. Not so much piney, but more floral and garden-like. I think they use 4 different hops to brew this one. Okay, let's check out the taste. Well, the caramel malts, I noticed them briefly on the nose, but they really roar in on the flavor. I mean, goodness. Body-wise, though, let me start with that. I'd like to do that first. The body is very smooth. I mean, it's creamy-ish and medium range, medium to bold range. Actually, more toward the bold range. There's such a sweetness going on here. I can't imagine. It's very, very sweet for what I kind of expected from an Imperial IPA. I think I expected much more bitterness, but I'm not saying there is no bitterness. There's plenty of that going on too. The caramel toffee kind of sugar sweetness comes barreling in at first, sticks around for a moment, kind of coats the back of my throat and my tongue, and then the hops sneak up from behind and really kind of take over the second half of the sip. Now, it's a 10% ABV. The alcohol, sometimes I'm getting it, sometimes I'm not. It's sort of hit or miss. I think it's fairly well integrated, but I'm getting, one of those sips I took a minute ago, I got a real sharp alcohol burn. It's just the one sip. I can't seem to, I don't know, I am getting a good sweet caramel and toffee sugar sweetness, even maybe in brown sugar. I mean, it's really sweet in that regard. And then the hops come up from behind. They linger briefly, end dry, and they just actually the lingering is a little longer. I mean, each sip has been slightly different on this. You know, I've had a real super sweetness, and then I had kind of a real alcohol burn at one point on one of the sips, and then I had more of a balanced sweetness followed by the bitterness. I think I read on their website This is 90 IBU. So that'd make it pretty bitter, and it does. And yeah, you know, the first few sips were very sweet. Getting into the third or fourth, maybe the fifth, the hops tend to sort of begin taking over the character of this beer. The sweetness is less and less on each sip, and the hop bitterness becomes more and more on each sip. So, I mean, it's a pretty good description of an IPA. I mean, the hoppiness, and you know, it's pretty tasty. But yeah, each sip it gets more bitter and more bitter, and I'm kind of wondering if I get right to the very bottom, it may be incredibly bitter by then, and also drier and drier. So this is an evolving flavor, I must say. Super sweet at first, then kind of mildly sweet with a bitterness, and then really bitter. It's really kind of interesting how it grows, how it changes in the flavor with each sip. So not bad at all. So that's it from for today. This is Harpoon Leviathan Imperial IPA. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.